A freshman in high school pinned and teched his way through a college tournament, beating D1 guys with extremely positive records and great resumes. And yet he just made them look absolutely silly, guys. I've been watching this kid for 3 years. He went on to become a U23 gold medalist, youngest ever senior world team member for Team USA in freestyle wrestling. And now he's an NCAA champ. Okay? So I've been grappling for 7 years, watching him for 3. I've studied all of his techniques and strategies. I want to simplify it and break down the most effective things he does so that you can copy these techniques for your own grappling. And I'm going to show you that you can take down stronger opponents with these techniques. You don't have to be as strong or as experienced to take down guys with a lot of strength and experience. Okay? You need, so the way you're going to do this is you need a low risk attack, or excuse me, a series of low risk attacks that chain together from one low risk tie up, guys. This is the strategy that we're going to adapt. Let's go ahead and start by taking a look at the slide by. Okay, the best example of the slide by. At the 2024 US Olympic team trials, Jax Forrest goes against Thomas Gilman, who is a college alumni. He's extremely strong and controls Jax with underhooks and push-outs the entire match. But Jax does something very clever here. What he does is he baits his opponent to the knees, okay? And then he goes to the feet while Gilman is still on his knees. He gets the slide by. Forrest is in the red here. I want to show you how effective this slide by is. There's really nothing Gilman can do here because he's already beat. I mean, if you're on your knees, you have no mobility whatsoever. Jax capitalizes on this and gets the slide by, okay? He does this again against Nathan Tomasello, who's another college alumni and a serious competitor in the international scene. So, Jax again baits the opponent to his knees with a dump and then beats him to the feet for the slide by. This is an easy takedown because you're not fighting the opponent's strength. You're just outspeeding them with your feet versus their knees. And it just works, guys. Now, you can do this from the feet, okay? The slide by works from the feet as well. You don't only have to bait the opponent to their knees to hit a slide by. So this is Jax Forrest versus Kyler Larkin. Jax is in the orange. This is it right here. Slide by from the feet, okay? So the slide by, the low risk tie up that we're looking at, the elbow control tie up is essentially a collar tie with your non-dominant hand and elbow control with your dominant hand. So here we have Jax with a collar tie on his left, elbow control on his right. Slide by. He does this kick to generate more momentum with his right leg. Boom. Kicks up and steps around as he goes for the slide by. It's very effective, guys. And the thing about this technique is you can actually spam this. You can spam the slide by without any risk of getting taken down. The reason why is because you're not shooting in and giving up bad position. And then it becomes even more effective when you chain it with the next technique I want to tell you about, which is the dump. Okay, let's take a look at the dump against Nathan Tomasello again. This is the same match from earlier. At this point, Jax is a freshman in high school, okay? Let's see what he does here. Elbow control, dump. Amazing. This is just another option you have from the elbow tie. And what I'm going to show you is that this chains very well with the other move, the slide by. And you need it to chain well because any grappling system works best when your attacks are available from the other attacks failed. What I mean is if one fails, you can go to the other one. Let's take a look at a good example used from failed slide by. Okay, here we have in this video, high school freshman dominates college open. Yeah, I mean, just amazing. Let's take a look at some of these failed attempts that chain together. So he goes for the dump and it fails. What does he do? Sucker drag. All from the elbow tie, guys. Look, elbow tie to dump. He has nothing but elbow here. Sucker drag. So these three attacks, okay, sucker drag, slide by, and dump, just chain so well together that he's able to take down college level guys as a high school freshman. Because they all start from the same tie-up, the elbow control tie-up. Let's see if there's another good example at this tournament. He goes for a variation of the slide by and fails, then he goes straight for the dump. That's it right there. Why does this work? Why does this variation not work, but then the dump does work? The reason why is because you're overwhelming your opponent with pace and chaos. That's why 2 attacks is better than 1. And then 2 is that you've pushed your opponent forward to set up your dump from the exact same tie-up. So you don't need a new tie-up to go for your second attack. You just attack again from the first thing. So what I'm saying is that slide by, dump, sucker drag chain well together and can be attempted pretty much infinitely, guys. A good grappling system presents the opponent with 2 bad choices. As you use one system more and more, you learn every possible response and you can force favorable positions. You can beat your opponents to the next spot. You know where the scramble is going, and so you can beat your opponent to that position. Okay? That's all.